Alright. Just on a quick lunch break here, so. I've got no quests. I have. Oh, and I have no key bindings. Oh my god. It sucks though whenever you have to. Oh. Yes, and then I reset it all because you have to do character specific. Arrgh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Hey, what's up, George? How's it going? I'm just on my lunch break and from work, and I thought I'd come in and I'm just trying to think. I mean, I'm just trying to think what game I want to play over the next few months. I don't think New World's gonna cut it, and I don't think I'm gonna play Ascension WoW just because I just feel like there's no, the people I was playing with aren't going to be playing it. Zalson's got work. It doesn't feel like toggle PvP pane. Anyways, doesn't feel like Blue's going to be playing it because he's going to be playing New World. So I'm kind of intrigued about Kargos's Road to Ragnaros challenge. I think it's interesting. I do think that the hardcore community is a really good community, and so I'm interested in checking that out and seeing where it goes. You just started a few weeks ago on TBC. You're gonna stay there until Season of Mastery's out. Yeah, I think it'd just be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's about all I can really say about it at this point. You know, I mean, I don't know how. I think because we're gonna be in the hardcore guild and playing along with other, or at least trying to play with other hardcore players. That helps a lot. Trying to remember what I used for my key shortcuts for switching. I think I did. Yeah, because I'm a warrior. I probably did 1 and 2. Let's just do... What did I use? What did I use? I cannot remember. Well, we don't really need this one. Anyways, let me finish my key bindings. We have to finish the key bindings. I'm not gonna unbind all these. I'll do that later. But normally, definitely unbind the shift ones because these are easy to hit by accident. Also, the shift up arrow, shift down arrow, super easy to hit by accident. That will cause you a world of hurt. Targeting, want to do target self, super important in hardcore. This is all fine. Target pad now. It's weird. Doesn't. Okay. Targeting interface. Speak with Marshall McBride. It would be helpful if I actually picked up a quest.
Need more rage.
You need more rage. Well, get angry. You must be angry.
Light be with you. For the Alliance.
I don't know if the automatic quest tracking just isn't working, but normally you would expect it to show up automatically, and it's must not be working.
rage.
Classic plus. Fresh hardcore. You know what I might do, just to make the streaming more fun, is... I haven't really done this before, ever, really. Is I might start putting up my webcam and just... so you guys can actually see me when I'm playing, and I really don't normally do that. But... I think it would... get more interaction with the people watching the stream. We're fighting for vermin here. We're fighting, just trying to get vermin. Wear hats when I... Oh, I'll probably... I probably won't wear a hat, but I haven't cut my hair since the COVID pandemic, so my hair is like past my shoulders. It's long. It actually looks almost pink right now because I dyed it red, and all the red colors fading. You know, I have gray hair because I'm old, man, and all the red's kind of fading out. So actually, it's more like kind of a light bronzy color. Actually, it's pretty hilarious.
I need a target.
How much experience points are we getting? Like 50? This is the Season of Mastery beta. This is the beta server. What's up, Martin?
Need more rage.
Yeah, we're getting 44 XP. I don't think the XP bonus kicks in until probably level 20 or 30. I can't remember when it is. I don't know if we're going to be able to tell when we turn this quest in. I don't think we're going to see an increase. Yeah, this is beta. When does the quest XP kick in? Here it is. Okay, so the required XP per level was reduced by 15% between levels 20 to 60. And all quest experience between levels 30 to 60 was increased. Yeah, well, there is... So basically, we should see leveling from 1 to 20 feel about the same as vanilla World of Warcraft, but once we hit 20, it should speed up considerably.
Greetings.
Yeah, that's what we saw in the TBC Classic server.
What can I do for you? Light bless
Definitely
you.
was a little bit increased. But I thought about playing Paladin because I've done a lot of content on Paladins in vanilla World of Warcraft, but honestly, Paladin's such a boring class. Like, until the Paladin gets to like level 30, it's really not that fun because you're basically just auto-attacking. But once you get to like 30 and 40, it starts to become a lot more fun. You have a lot more survivability. You start getting redoubt, and you start getting some really cool, you know, shield and
What can I do?
you know, abilities. But you can do the same thing. The nice thing about the warrior is you can do the same thing on the warrior while still building, you know, a DPS warrior. You could still use shield block and still switch to defensive stance and still use, shields and swords, so it's a really much more fun play style, I feel, like a vanilla content setting.
You need
So I
something?
think if I do
Safe travel.
Season of Mass, if I do the Road to Ragnaros with Kargos and those guys, and I think I probably will go warrior. I thought about doing something completely different, like a mage. Something like I don't normally play, like a mage or a warlock or something, but I just know that I wouldn't enjoy it. And one thing that I've found out that I really enjoy in World of Warcraft, and especially vanilla World of Warcraft or classic, is melee. I like being up
Not
in
enough
the
rage.
I like being up in the target's face. Yeah. Would you say? What do I think the next? What would I think they'll come up with the next expansion? Which expansion do you mean? You mean the World of Warcraft like retail? Honestly,
I don't have a
I
target.
don't really have any idea what the next expansion could be, and honestly, I really don't care that much because I think whatever it is, it'll suck just like the last three expansions did. You know. But who knows? Maybe it'll be good. I mean, I certainly would like it to be good. You know. I certainly would like it to be good, but I mean, I knew Shadowlands was going to be crap, and it was crap. I knew. Oh man, come on. We knew we knew Shadowlands was going to be bad, and it was bad. Yeah, I watched. Yeah, it sucks, ripoff. I watched a bunch of videos. The problem with I wanted to play Neverwinter because I wanted to get more towards the end game, but you hope a bard? Yeah, well, I like bards. You know what's cool? You know what's cool? I'm probably what's gonna happen is I'll probably stream. I think I'm gonna stream a little Black Desert because they've added some stuff to Black Desert that looks kind of cool. They've actually added an instrument to Black Desert, so you can go in and like compose music inside of Black Desert, which is interesting. I'm a guitar player, so that's definitely intriguing to me. And yeah, but I mean, oh, you meant New World? Yeah, I tried to play Neverwinter, and it just didn't. It just wasn't playing. It wasn't playing very good. And then I watched some videos on it, and I found that really Neverwinter is kind of fun in the middle levels, but once you get to end game, it starts to just get really repetitive. And I just knew if it becomes repetitive, that I just knew I wouldn't enjoy it. I was like, well, I'm not going to enjoy this if it's just another, do the same dungeons over and over again, hoping for a 1% loot drop. I was like, that's not something that I'll enjoy. As far as New World, I just reached a point in New World where I felt like there was no end game for me. Like with New World, I was like, well, I'm spending all this time, and plus, I have a real life outside of games, which my wife is going to kill me because I've been spending enough time with her lately. So I'm trying to balance playing games and spending time with my wife, and I felt like I was spending all this time in New World just running around gathering resources. That's not exactly a very exciting way to spend your day. You know what I mean? Like, there's better things I can do with than just running around gathering ore so I can craft some items. The other thing that really killed New World for me was the fact that there's no economy for that, right? Like, once you craft stuff for people and they have like the best gear, that's kind of it. I mean, you can't really make any money that way. The money in New World is more doing the PvP, like instanced, rushes, battle rushes, and stuff like that. That's a much better way to make consistent gold. But I really, I don't really want to sit in queue. And everything I've heard about for the queues for some of those things is that the queue times are long. So yeah, Oculus would be cool. That sounds like fun, Martin. I might try that. I've been wanting to get an Oculus. That's actually on my list of things I want to do. I want to do it more for physical reasons. There's a couple games you can play that make you burn a lot of calories, and I was thinking about maybe grabbing some of those with like some VR. Yeah, I just don't like. Okay, the thing with New World is it's like if you're not going to PvP, right? I mean, if you're not going to be doing PvP, what is there in the game for the PvE? There really isn't a whole lot. There's just a few dungeons that pretty much, You know, they disappear very quickly. I mean, you go through them all and you're done with them. It's like, well, I've done those dungeons, I've got the gear. Now what do? You really don't have anything to do other than just do PvP. And I don't want to just run around in New World constantly fighting battles over the same towns over and over again. It just doesn't look very fun. Your girlfriend says you have to wait until what? Yeah. Yeah, but for sure, the merges could irritate and piss off a lot of people. You know, who've spent time trying to get to where they are, or to get the territories, to own the territories they've already owned, to conquer them and control them, How do you... It's like, how am I even in battle stance? Like, can't I get out of battle stance? It's weird that it looks like you can't leave battle stance. That's wrong. You should be able to leave battle stance. So that's kind of strange to me. Huh, weird. That seems like almost like a bug to me. Yeah, but it's still a stance, right? And you should be able to be in no stance. Also, why doesn't it show that I'm actually in a stance? Normally you have an icon will even show under your character, right? As a kind of like a, I believe. I thought it would. I guess it shows here, but I mean, it has a cooldown, so I don't understand why I can't leave battle stance. That's, you know what I mean? That seems strange to me. You can imagine losing fully upgraded territory because your server gets merged. Yeah. I don't know. I was running around a New World, and I was spending all the time gathering resources, and I thought, well, this is like kind of fun, but not like a lot of fun. And then I started thinking about what am I going to do with all these, like when I started getting all these resources and I started crafting stuff, I'm like, well, who's the market for? And then even if I do sell stuff and I get all this gold, what am I going to do with the gold? The gear in the game isn't really that hard to get. The only thing I could think of to do with the gold is to contribute towards, your house, like buying a house and maintaining property. But that just didn't appeal to me that much. I'm like, well, I don't really care to own a house because what am I going to do with a house? Am I going to build a bunch of chests to have more inventory room? And then, well, what do I need all the inventory room for? Once you get to end game, you're going to open up more inventory in the storages in each town based on your reputation with those settlements. And then you're also going to have more bags on your character. Once you get to 45, you get another bag slot. I honestly don't think I'd even get to the point, really, where I would really need that much more inventory room. Because I'm not going to be crafting and selling stuff for gold because I'll be just doing PvP for gold. You know what I mean? It just seemed kind of pointless. The whole thing just seemed kind of pointless to me. The economy in New World to me is totally wrong. It doesn't work the way it should,
Need more rage.
Something as simple as having a mining axe that you craft that doesn't wear out and break, so you can keep that market. There's no demand for it. It's like once everyone on the server has a star metal axe or a orichalcum axe, logging axe, then they never need to buy another one ever. You know what I mean? Yeah, but then once you have it, you have it. That's the thing. What I'm saying is, once you have the things you need from the Orichalcum or whatever, you've got it. It doesn't, like when you repair gear, I didn't see that it was losing any kind of durability. Like, and if it does it over a very slow time, because I used a steel metal pickaxe for like frickin', 30 hours, and it still seemed completely fine. I could just repair it and it's good as new. So there's no market for that stuff. And then, and like I said yesterday, Sir Medieval did a good video on it, saying that, he can't really make a guide saying how to make gold because the economy it fluctuates so much that one thing that could be selling for a lot of gold in one day, it sells for nothing the next. And that's because the stuff that's required most of the stuff that people are buying is they're buying it because they want to craft something. Usually they want to craft something for themselves. Once they craft something for themselves, they don't need that resource anymore. So once everybody on the server crafts all these things they need, and because of the way the game's played, you're not really tempted to re-roll. And I think you can only have, one character per server anyway. So because you're not creating characters from level 1, then again, you're not going to have that kind of constant need for those things to be crafted again and again and again and again, like you would have in a normal game. Like in WoW, World of Warcraft, I may play my warrior to 60, and then I'm like, oh, I'm 60, and while I'm waiting for raids or something, I may be leveling up an alt. Well, as I'm leveling up an alt, I need level resources to level some of my professions, or I need resources to craft maybe some gear I want, or maybe I'm just mining up resources to sell and make gold. Because there's always tons and tons of new characters and tons of people that need resources, right? For lots of reasons. So there's always going to be a demand for those resources. But in New World, from what I was looking at, there's not always going to be a demand, and the demand fluctuates so greatly. There's no consistent method to really make gold. And then even what are you going to do with all the gold? Like I said, the only thing I saw that you could do with the gold was just housing, I mean, you could use gold to buy resources, but again, why bother? It's so easy to get the resources yourself. Why waste money buying them? Yeah, but yeah, I mean, what is this? Tough wolf meat. Yeah. I'm just talking and not paying attention. We need to get wolf meat and bandanas. In Season of Mastery, yeah, there'll be a lot of people that have alts in Season of Mastery. It just as long as they will. They won't have it as much, but you'll have people who've never really played Vanilla WoW, or maybe they thought they wanted to run a specific character for raiding in Season of Mastery, and after they played it to level 23, they changed their mind. So you're definitely going to have alts, but you're not going to have as many, that's for sure. And but again, it's completely different than New World. New World, you're just not, because you can only have one character per server, and no one's going to spend weeks progressing a character. There's no need to re-roll because there's no classes. It doesn't even matter. There's no classes. It's not like you're going to re-roll because you want to go to a mage. I mean, you can do everything you want on that one character, so there's no need. Which again, I think is a bad design. To me, New World has some really key bad design decisions. And as much as I like classless systems, and I think they work really well in like single player RPGs, I don't think they work very well in massively multiplayer online role-playing games. I think what works a lot better is the Holy Trinity, or I would like to see the Holy Quadrinity, like Pantheon Rise of the Fallen uses, and have class identity. To me, that is the way to make an MMO that can stand the test of time. It's just a proven method. Where we need to increase MMOs is we need to create better enemy AI. We need to create better enemy encounters. We need to make the game more challenging. We need to stop hand-holding people. We need to stop letting people abuse mechanics to level. Being able to boost people, being able for characters that are level 80 or level 60 or whatever to run level 20s through a level 20 dungeon should be completely disallowed. There's lots of things you can do to prevent all of the things, but the reason that Blizzard lets those things happen is because it puts money in their pocket. Because what makes Blizzard money, what makes Blizzard consistent money, is subscriptions. Well, how do people get gold to pay all those boosters? Well, they're either buying a WoW token and selling it, or they're buying gold from gold sellers. Well, gold sellers have to have a WoW subscription, so that money goes to Blizzard. So in either scenario, Blizzard's getting paid. That's why Blizzard doesn't want to stop people from abusing those mechanics, because it's making them money.
Not enough rage.
But what's so good about vanilla World of Warcraft is this, what you're looking at right now. It takes some actual effort to,
I don't have a target.
you can't just go out and kill a few mobs like you can in Black Desert and be level 3 in like 1 minute. You know what I mean? You actually have to spend some time and level, and what makes the hardcore mode so much even better is that there's a real risk that when you die, you have to start over. So there's a degree of a much higher degree of accomplishment because you've done something that's a lot more challenging than just, leveling in a version where if you die, it doesn't matter. You just res and keep going. There are a few things in life that I crave as much as I crave fresh. Do you mean to say there are a few things, or there are not few things? Are you trying to say that you really like fresh? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm like, oh, there are a few things in life. Oh, okay, I got you. So you just love fresh. Some Mage, you love fresh. Yeah, a lot of people like that. Someone died at level 8. A lot of people like fresh realms. I don't get into that because I'm not like what Cargos calls a... Man, I have a lot of skills. We want charge. And... Battle shout. Okay, that's fine. Rend is not as important. Battle shout. Everyone starting off in the beginning, leveling up, speeding to 60, getting gear from dungeons, first scuffed MC, so much goddamn fun, it's insane, completely new economy. Yeah, I mean, there's the economy part of it is cool, there's the opportunity to make a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, I don't get into it because, I mean, I like, keeping the progress you made, so I like the idea that you level up and then you're level 60 and then you do stuff, you do dungeons, you get gear, you do raids, you do whatever, but you keep progressing your character.
See you later.
So after spending all that time progressing my character to 60 and getting all the gear, I really don't want to just hit the reset button and do it again. That's just me. I mean, if I did, I would prefer to do it. I would prefer to do it on the same server, where the economy is already established, where my character that I leveled to 60 can help my alt by giving them bags or money, as opposed to resetting and starting all over with no bags and no money. So I'm not a big fan of fresh. It is, I think there's a lot of people get so into it. I don't really understand what's so exciting about it personally. I mean, I do understand it and I don't. I understand that people like the process, that it's exciting. It's like a new beginning, and a new beginning I think is always exciting. But
Be careful.
But it's but you're kind of like quitting on the character that you spent all that time to get to 60 and do stuff on. You're like, oh, I'm done with you. It's like you're discarding it. So that's the part I don't like. I don't like discarding and just... It's like you're deleting all the stuff you did. And I think Cargos did a... Cargos he likes the fresh, he likes the whole leveling experience going 1 to 60. So he likes the idea of seasonal servers where You know, every season you start over. So I think I like fresh. I mean, I like anybody else. I think it's fun to start fresh, but I would prefer that they do kind of like what Ascension WoW does, which I think is really cool. So what Ascension WoW does is you have two servers. You have one server that stays up all the time, right? And then you have another server that does seasons. So you can go to the season server, create a character, level to 60, and then when the season ends, you get rewards for the accomplishments that you achieved, right? And then that character gets transferred over to the other server where you get to keep that character. That character remains. So if we did the same thing in World of Warcraft, which I think would be really cool, is you'd level up your character to 60, do all the MC stuff and all your raids and progress as far as you can, and then that season would end. And then those characters would then get transferred to a permanent realm that isn't a seasonal realm. Then a new season would start, a new freshy fresh, right, mage? And then you could level up another character, a mage or something from the beginning. And then when that season ends, you could transfer that mage over to the permanent realm again, and now you've got two characters that have good gear and that are level 60 on that realm. So you have two realms to play on. And that's pretty cool. I like that. You know, I think that's an interesting way to do it. That way you don't feel like you've lost what you've done. It's not like you're just hitting the reset button. You know? How come there's no other quest? Shouldn't there be another quest? I guess not. I mean, I know there's more after I get this one turned in. Well, I think it's because they have other options. The reason they don't play the classic era is because they have other options. That you would have to get rid of... Okay, here's the thing, Ripoff. Think about it this way. And Ascension does this as well. Like, the regular server goes all the way through the TBC content, right? So it's 1 to 70. The seasonal server is only 1 to 60. So you do the 1 to 60, at the end of the season, that goes over to the 1 to 70 server, where people progress their characters on to 70, right? The reason people don't play the classic servers is because it's over. They've done everything they want to do. Now they're going to go to TBC to continue to 70. But think about the permanent server always being at the highest level. Then you don't have to leave, right? The seasonal server is really just a temporary thing that allows you to do this freshy experience over and over again. But you still move your characters to the other server, which will be to whatever level you want. I mean, you'll keep rolling out. So think about this. Think about having two servers. One server is 1 to 60, the other one's 1 to 60. One's a seasonal server. You go to 1 to 60 on the fresh seasonal server. The season ends. You move over to the 1 to 60 server. You're there. After the first season ends, the 1 to 60 server gets TBC content. The 1 to 60 server now goes 1 to 70. Now you continue leveling 60 to 70 on that server while you create another fresh character on the season 2 of the other server. Now when the season 2 ends, you move that character back over to the 1 to 70 server, but then they roll out Wrath of Lich King and now you go 1 to 80. Now you continue those two characters all the way to 80, and then you go back to the seasonal server and it moves to season 3. See, that's kind of one of the ways you could do it, right? But, you know, whatever. I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. No, this is an official World of Warcraft service, the beta. Right here. We are currently in the classic season of Mastery beta, right? No, look at what is this? You're attempting to run a custom script. Running scripts could compromise your character, causing the loss of items or gold. What? How is a script going to cause me the loss of items or gold? Yeah. You should allow me to run custom scripts. No, it's Tony, it's a sub. You have to have a sub to do it, unfortunately.
Not ready yet.
Ability is not ready yet. That shouldn't... Yeah, well, this server is a little screwy because it shouldn't be doing it. You know what?
I can't do that yet.
Yeah, this server's not. It's not scripted correctly yet. This should clear the errors. I don't. It's not. So this. It's not letting me run this script for some reason, which I can run on Classic and TBC Classic. So interesting that I can't do it here. See how it says ability is not ready yet? Okay, it's not doing it now. Let me. Maybe I just need to adjust my charge macro. People have been sharing scripts. Oh, is that what it is? I'm like, what? I'm just like, huh? You know? I'm like, what are they talking about? Funny. Yeah, no, it's not free. The only reason I'm thinking about playing here maybe is just for the the Road to Ragnaros challenge that Kargos and those guys are putting together. Yeah, that's the only reason. So. Man, there are not a lot of mobs here. Look how few mobs there are. Do these guys just kill them all? Hmm. Yeah. Hey, with the fist function. Yeah, it's interesting that they. I've never seen that type of a message before. That says like, "Beware, you may lose items or something from running scripts." I'm like, okay. This rogue came out of nowhere. How does a rogue have stealth at level 4? Did you see that? I guess the rogue does. Does the rogue have stealth at 4? I guess they do. She must have just got it. Yeah, I mean, Ascension's fun, Tony. The only reason I wasn't thinking about not playing Ascension is just, like I said, is that the people that I was playing with, I don't think they're going to be playing it. So I don't really want to play there by myself, to be honest. What did I do? Did I just drag something off my bars? What the hell? I did. Okay, I did. Hold on a second. I heard the sound of me dragging something off, and it was obviously perception. That'll fix that. Parkour! Parkour! You haven't heard anything about raw retail? Yeah, you mean anything bad? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I have no plans to play raw retail. If World of Warcraft could come out with a new expansion that harkens back to just traditional fantasy, if they do some bullshit where they're going out into space or something like that, I'm just gonna be laughing at them because that's just sheer stupidity. They need to either come out with World of Warcraft 2 or just hit the reset button on WoW. Go back in time, do something. They can't continue on the way they are, I don't think. I think they need to really just come out with a new MMO. I mean, I don't understand why they don't. I mean, the market's there. I mean, there's a huge market. If a company can put out a good, solid, fantasy-based MMO with a Holy Trinity system, with updated graphics, that has a solid leveling experience with good questing, dynamic events, improved enemy AI, and really competitive and thoughtful PvE encounters, dungeons, and world bosses that require teamwork to take, like good teamwork, not tank and spank, not multiple cleaves, and basically limit the dungeons to specific roles. So a dungeon, I would prevent dungeons from having like, I don't know if you could do it because it might really piss people off, but you have to make sure that people aren't abusing mechanics. I don't want to see someone go in with like 3 frost mages, and like 3 warriors or something, and just cleave everything down. But I don't think that would be a problem if you just created the dungeons in a way that you need healing. The people are hitting hard enough. You have to have a healer. So. What do you mean I have season? Retail is unsalvageable? Yeah, I don't think retail is salvageable. I agree. I don't think you can... I mean, you would have to completely come out with some sort of an expansion that really hits the reset button. I mean, really drastically changes the way the game is played. I mean, it would be such a change. It's like, to me, it's like, why spend that much effort to do that? You're better off just creating a new MMO, as opposed to trying to make those many changes to all the systems that are in World of Warcraft to create something that's a lot better. Because the retail game is a steaming pile of dung. So.
Good day to you. Safe travels. Hello. See you around.
I really wish they would have made these quests available at the same time that the other one was, and didn't force you to have to run over there, do that, come back, and then get these. I just think it just seems like a needless, like they're needlessly making you make another trip over there, which just seems kind of silly to me, but.
Go with honor, friend. Well met. Light bless you.
We say just buy the license to air rivals and market that? What do you mean buy the license to air rivals and market that? What do you mean? I'm not sure what air rivals is. This is Classic Fresh, but with a slightly different take. I don't know why they're calling it Season Mastery. I'm not really sure why they're calling it that. I don't know if this is going to be some sort of a recurring thing. It's a faster release cycle. There's some changes. You can just Google, World of Warcraft Season of Mastery changes, and you'll find an article, a blue post about it where they talk about, the changes.
Hello. Safe travels. See you around.
It's free to play MMO, but you play as a fighter pilot and everything is flying around in your plane shooting. Oh. Yeah, I never heard of it. Air Rivals. Very grindy, yeah. You know, I have a lot of ideas around MMOs, but it would have to be, you know, I mean, there's. That's weird. Why does my hearth, which was down here, suddenly moved way up? That's strange. You know, oftentimes I want to put together an article and just start sending it off to these MMO manufacturers and say, here, look, this is what you need to do to make a good MMO. You know what I mean? It's like, look, this is what you need to do. Listen to me. I know like nobody else. Only my opinion matters, right? Oh, I didn't learn Rend yet, did I? Oh, I did learn Rend. I couldn't remember if I did or not. Oops. Oops. I'm tired, guys. I spent too much time playing the last few days, and I'm beat, man. I'm really beat. If it had a bigger budget behind it, it had supposed to be such a great game. That sounds like fun. I'm not really into flying games too much, but I'm sure it sounds cool. Wow, I hit the tab. I hit the tab key almost 4 times to target this character. Like after this one died, and I had no one targeted, I was hitting tab, and it was literally cycling around like everybody but the mob that was right in front of me. I'm curious. Arc. I'm curious if the dam if it actually arcs to the side. That'd be pretty cool if it did. We'll see. Oh, the numbers. My numbers go this. This is weird. The damage he does to me is curving left and right. It's kind of strange. They need to do it like MSPT, like mixed scrolling battle text, and you should be able to just configure where the text scrolls. That would be a huge improvement. Their floating combat takes a while, needs a lot of work. You think an MMO with UGC in the form of custom dungeons? When you say UGC, do you mean what do you mean? Do you mean like player created content or something, where players create dungeons? I mean, they have games like Divinity Original Sin where I think people can create dungeons and or things, and there's games out there where where player created content is created, but they don't really have any MMOs that do that. I'm not sure if that's what you're saying. I'm not sure what UGC is. User generated. Okay, I think of it player created content, but Yeah, I mean that could be cool, but it also gets really messy. You know, there's a lot of I've played games where people create dungeons and stuff. I can't remember which game. I think was it Vindictus, or there was some game I played where there were all these player created things, and it just was really sloppy. You know. And there were so many. Like when you have user generated content, it's just there's so much. You know, it can become like, you know, who wants to scroll through 2,000 different dungeons? You know, but I do agree that it can be really cool. Users can, players can create some really cool stuff. So, what am I doing? I'm just killing for no reason again. I don't think procedurally generated dungeons would work for it. I mean, it could, but I don't. I'm not a fan of really doing that. Like procedurally generated worlds, like in No Man's Sky, once they tweaked it and got it working pretty well, like apparently it's working, hopefully, pretty well now. I think that works okay because it's a little different. I mean, it's a pole planet. It has, the content is the kind of the biomes that are created on the planet. What kind of monsters or enemy types or friendly types might be there. What type of civilization structures might be there, and I think that generated content that way I think works okay. But to do a dungeon map that's generated, I mean, it could be okay. I'm not gonna say it could be okay. I mean. I think people like going into something knowing that once they've done it 2 or 3 times, that they have the knowledge of, they feel like they've accomplished something. Like, oh, I've done this dungeon, I know how to do it, and they can tell their friends this is how you approach it. And that's kind of a skill that you learn by playing the game. And I think if you change it so that every time you go in, it's probably different, you may take away a little bit of that, So. Oh, I just screwed up. I think I just screwed. Well, this is just. I'm not supposed to. I think for playing hardcore, I'm not really supposed to group with other people. But that's the one instance on hardcore where I think we should be allowed to group. When you're doing a quest and you're just trying to get like a quest mob's head or something, it just kind of sucks when there's multiple people trying to do it and you're like, I can't group. I'm doing hardcore. You know what I mean? But this is just a beta. We're just testing the systems, really, and seeing how... I mean, we're not really going to see the faster XP rates until we get past level 20. So... Alright, so... everything's done. I need the labor slings, yeah. There's an RPG called King that has an endless dungeon crawl mode where the goal is to progress as far as you can. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of cool. I think that's pretty cool, where you just keep going and going. And I mean, they have that in Final Fantasy, where they have this tower that you go into and you keep going to different floors, and it gets harder and harder. But it's not infinite, though. I mean, I think people have gone through all the levels, but it's pretty tough to do. And usually, I mean, you need a group to do it. But some people have tried to solo it and go through the whole thing solo, and I think there's an achievement for that as well. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty cool.
Hey there. See you later.
Man, I'm not feeling very good today. I got a headache and I got a fever. My wife was sick this weekend, and I feel like I'm getting sick too. I can tell on my fever. I'm getting hot. What am I supposed to do? And I can't think. Right, my brain is not functioning right now. I need to go kill these laborers. I just think that to make an MMO that's really good it just takes attention to all the details, and you have to, you can take everything you've learned from all the previous MMOs and create a better MMO. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It doesn't have to, be something completely like that breaks the genre. That's like, oh my god, we've never seen anything like this before. It just has to be really good. It has to have everything that people like, and it has to have that stuff in place. I think one of the things too that MMOs don't do correctly is they don't manage the cheaters very well. They don't manage the people that are abusing the game. WoW's a perfect example. with all the boosting that goes on, with Mythic Plus boosting, with arena rating boosting, with leveling boosting, all that stuff, I think they should work a lot harder to prevent all of that. And people should be banned for that. I mean, if you're like, because you're really, you're abusing the system, right? If you're like a freaking amazing arena player, 3K skill arena player, you shouldn't be, well, I mean, I guess that's not necessarily true. I don't have a problem with you helping somebody else. There's not really anything wrong with that, but you shouldn't be accepting gold for it. You shouldn't be saying, you guys have to pay me to run you, because then it ruins it ruins the ladder, such that if you go in there and you're a couple of like 1.5, 1,500 skilled players, you're never going to get anywhere because you're constantly running against every single team that's got like, a 3K rated player on it. You're just going to get annihilated, and you're never going to be able, maybe you might not even be able to achieve the 15K rating because you're going to get pounded so bad. But, that's something that has to really be thought out. Like, how do you prevent something like that, I mean, you could just make the system a lot different without having, just get rid of rating altogether, and just make it based on just victories, and I don't know. There's ways you could get around that, but I don't know. I have to think about it. Anyways, I got to get back to work, guys. It's been an hour, so I'll be just on my lunch break. But we'll continue leveling the warrior tonight, maybe in a stream. If I'm feeling up to it, I'm not feeling too good right now. I'm not feeling too hot, so I may take a day off from streaming. But I think what I may start doing on my channel, if you guys you might be interested, you might not, is I really would like to theorycraft around creating an MMO that would be a good MMO, and I'd like to create a series of videos, streams, basically just talking about, crafting our own MMO, crafting a new MMO that not only I think people would like, but maybe get feedback from, other people watching the stream. What do you think would work and what wouldn't work, and, what would be fun, and just try to get some really good conversations going around that. I have tons of documents, Word documents, Visual Studio Code documents, where I've taken personal notes myself on what I think should be added to MMOs and systems I think that would be fun. And one of my all-time favorite systems is my demon system, my demon enchantment, demon kind of possession system, where basically you can summon demons and you have to fight them. But you can actually, as kind of like an evil magic user, sort of, you can actually dominate the mind of a demon or trick a demon and bind him to your will to make him perform certain things for you. Maybe he fights for you, or even better, you can actually take the demon and bind him into like a piece of gear. So like if he was a fire demon, you might be able to bind a fire demon to your sword. And then when you use your sword, you might have a chance to do fire damage. Stuff like that, which would be really, I just think it'd be such a fun system, because you would have this whole, like when you summon the demon, there would be like a little bit of an RG. You weren't sure what you were going to get. You were trying to summon maybe a certain type. And then when the demon summons, it would go into this kind of combat mode where you had to fight the demon. You either had to fight him, do like a will of battle, battle of wills, or you had to physically fight him. And if you don't win, you know what I mean? You can't control him, and maybe you end up losing something in the process. I don't know what you would lose. Maybe some experience. That would be a good thing. Like if you lose against the demon, you would lose maybe some willpower. Maybe part of the willpower ranking would be what would help you to dominate the demon. So let's say the more often you're successful in summoning demons or binding them to your will, the greater your skill becomes. And then of course, if you lose in a battle versus a demon, your skill would decrease. Anyway, just one of the systems I thought would be interesting for an MMO. But I'll check it guys later. I got to get back to work. Oh, or maybe go to lay down because I'm not feeling too good. And I hope you guys are having a great day. And I'll talk to you later. Peace out.